How's it going, guys? Name's D Free from Duel Central. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you are new, punch that subscribe button. We'd love to have you stick around here, or at least consider doing so. What I'm showing you guys for today's video is a deck that works against level 30 and level 40 MAI. Now, I'm going to be showing you a dual replay of level 40 MAI, so feel free to skip ahead to get to that. But this is the deck that we are running here. So this is a bit of a budget version. Of course, you can swap out the Piranha Army for the Gravekeeper's Vassal and stuff like that. Union attack, if you have that, you can do that. Now, Mystical Beast Circuit, you get from, or Circuit, excuse me, you get from Odeon, drop reward, I believe, also from leveling up. Secondly, Unhappy Girl, she's one of the main cards you should go for in this game because she's very useful for farm decks. Of course, we're using Taya and her Holy Guard ability, by the way. I'm going to be doing a beginner guide to Duel Links and cards you should go for, packs you should summon on, and things like that, because I keep getting asked. I'll be doing that soon. 3 copies of her. Crystal Seer, another really good card. It lets you control what's at the top and the bottom of your deck. Also is a +1 because you get to draw a card. MAI is a suicide attacker. She lets you fish out an Unhappy Girl to kind of take control of the board in the game quicker. So 3 of them. Once again, Piranha Army is there as the main engine of this deck. Temple of the Kings works in cohesion with the Mystical Beast of Surskit. Pot of Benevolence is actually a card that you may or may not run. I run 2. Because what could happen is MAI could get into using Monster Gate, and she could basically mill off her whole deck searching for a monster. And if she gets in that scenario, you'll probably have more cards in your deck than her, especially if you don't have a lot of draw power, which isn't super necessary in this deck. You don't really need this, but you can run it in that regard. So I run 2 of them just in case. There's a couple dead cards in the deck that you don't need, but they're just kind of there to help out a little bit, I guess. Gift of the Martyr is part of the main combo with Piranha, and Secret Pass of the Treasures as well. Ultimate Providence is a good card because it allows you to negate things like Swift Birdman Joe. You have to discard a monster for that. She has a couple of other cards you may want to negate, trap cards, and so on and so forth. You don't need this. You can actually not, you don't have to negate Swift Birdman Joe or some of her other monsters. You can if you want to have ultimate, board control, but this card can be swapped out for things like a Trap Jammer, 7 Tools of the Bandit, things of that nature. She has like a Spiritual Wind Art Miyabi or whatever that's called that lets her return one of your cards to your deck too. So you want to keep control of the board once again. Good Goblin Housekeeping is a good card once again because it'll let you draw up to 6 cards, but you -3, so it's still a really good card either way. But the best use of this is it'll let you control what's at the bottom of your deck, which is actually very good to forcing yourself into combos faster. So 3 of those. And the only part of this deck that isn't as budget is the end game, because you're going to need one of these 2 optimally, but you can run a Ryoku in the deck if you don't have one of these 2, and you can pop out a monster that's about 2800 attack, like Twin-Headed Thunder Dragon, instead of Master of Oz or Blue Eyes Ultimate. You don't need that Ryoku if you have a monster that strong, because what the end game is to have this guy and this, you contribute them together to be able to play one of these 2, and then 4200 plus 5000 plus this guy's effect, which makes it 10,000 damage, is enough for the over 10,000 bonus. So once again, you could drop this for Gravekeeper's Vassal if you have that. You can also drop Gift to the Martyr for Union attack, a couple of Union attacks. You could drop Pot of Benevolence for whatever you want, another glossy card, prismatic card, whatever you want. Only real essentials are Piranha Army and his combo pieces, Mystical Beast of Surskit. And you can honestly drop the whole Mystical Beast or engine here, hit that and that for maybe some fusion support. Just outright put a fusion monster on the field and do the Ryoku and Gift of the Martyr. You can still get basically the same amount of points. So this is a 7,000 deck. Now we have the +1000 campaign going on, so that works as well. This can be subbed out for Shard of Greed, Jar of Greed, whatever. That Yatagarasu draw card if you have that SR card. This once again could be subbed out for Trap Jammers or 7 Tools of the Bandit. You need this. This once again isn't necessary. Crystal Seer is not necessary either. You can sub in any other card you want. Now let's get to the dual replay finally. Thank you guys if you stuck through that. Let me know if you stuck through that, by the way, and didn't skip ahead. There's nothing wrong with skipping ahead, but if you did, shame on you. Once again, nothing wrong. So we have level 40 here, and I assure you, works against level 30 as well. I just haven't seen level 30 MAI, and I didn't want to delay the video. I've done a couple duels against her, but I just didn't get a chance to save the replay. All right, so here's where we begin. Once again, Taya Holy Guard. So this is my starting hand. I always do that. First thing I did is because I wanted to fish out a Unhappy Girl. Played the Raime in defense mode because you don't take life point damage if it's your turn. You can attack into whatever you want with Holy Guard, which is what makes this basically the necessary skill for Unhappy Girl. So if you're looking for cards and how you can get all these cards, Google is your friend, because the Duel Links Game A site has a guide on how to get these skills and these cards and what packs they're in and stuff like that, and which I may do something like that in a video later on this week or maybe next week. I set the Good Goblin Housekeeping into Providence just for a little bit of board control if I needed it. She attacks with her Harpy Lady into Raime. I fish out Unhappy Girl, and this is where you can start to control the game by playing Unhappy Girls. I draw into 2 of them, which is great at most. You probably only want to have 2 monsters on the field because of the end game scenario. If you lock down their whole field, they can't do anything and destroy your monster, and you're going to end up in a scenario where you can't summon your Piranha Army or your Gravekeeper. Whichever, this animation is lit. Whichever engine you're actually running, you know, you can get in that kind of scenario. So she's not going to attack. They never attack Unhappy Girl because what it does is it'll lock their monster down. But I'm going to run into their stronger monster with the Raime because I don't take any life points, and it lets me thin my deck out again by searching out another Unhappy Girl and playing it. And then I can play Good Goblin Housekeeping. I don't need that third one, and that also lets me search it later on. That's the good thing about that. So I could have negated this. My toggle was actually off, but I could have negated his summon by discarding an Unhappy Girl from my hand, and he would have been destroyed, the Swift Birdman. But he basically sends everything back to your hand. It's not that big of a deal because she's going to basically not attack. She didn't ever play Harpy's Hunting Ground. It's in her deck, so keep that in mind. You don't want to play with a lot of cards in the back row there. If she basically plays that card on the field, you don't want to play with a lot of cards in the back row because she'll destroy them. Now, you can chain. If your toggle is set to on, I don't think if it's set to auto it'll work, but if it's set to on, you can chain Good Goblin Housekeeping and to draw a card when she's about to destroy it with her Harpy Hunting Ground. So basically, I'm just setting up. This is going to let me fish out that Unhappy Girl that I sent back in, which thins my deck again, which basically negates the negative of Good Goblin Housekeeping. So that's why I did that, and it's going to let me pull her out of the deck again. Shuffles the deck, which is unfortunate, but I can still basically play other cards that allow me to control what's at the bottom of my deck. So there we go, Good Goblin. I'm going to send the Ultimate Providence. I don't need it. You see my hand. I've got basically most of my combo pieces. Now, you need to make sure that you play this on your second to last turn, unless you run maybe like a double summon, I guess, which can go in the deck for one of the pots, because she's not going to do Monster Gate in this duel. So I just play the pot to get the glossy bonus. No real reason otherwise. I just want to make sure that you have basically both of the Unhappy Girls locking down both of her monsters. She plays that card. It's one of the things I can chain, but you don't really need to if you don't have to. All right, I didn't need the pot, so I discarded it. And this turn, I'm actually going to go ahead and play. You have to discard one, tribute one, which is why you want to make sure that you set the other one up, right? You want to have 2 set up, because if you do that, she may pop out a combo that allows her to destroy this, and then your combo is gone. So you want to make sure that you do this on the second to last turn, so the following turn you can go ahead and do the actual engine, which is going to be Piranha Army, which I'll go ahead and show you guys. So first thing, summon Piranha Army. Next thing, Secret Pass to Treasures, allowing it to hit directly before you give it the attack bonus. Then you use the effect of the Mystical Beast of Surskit to bring out one of your 2 fusion monsters. Or if you did it separately, if you didn't run this engine, you could have ran 2 Thunder Dragons and a Polymerization and Ryoku. Those cards would be in your hand right now. That could work, and then you do that instead of this whole next part, and then you go for a Ryoku, and then Gifted the Martyr, and then direct attack. That should be over 9999 damage for Piranha Army. So here's the combo, Secret Pass. Then I'm going to use the effect, pop that guy out, use Gifted the Martyr, send my Blue Eyes to the grave, and boom, direct 10k. So that is, once again, a 7,000 farm innately. I think it was 7,300. In fact, I have a screenshot for you guys. 7,300, but you have the campaign for plus 1,000 going on currently. So that is basically the best way to go ahead and farm this deck, or this duel list that I have found. Let me know in the comments if you guys have any other card recommendations, any other questions, or anything like that. So once again, you can sub out cards here and there. You don't have to run the exact deck. It does work the same way against level 30 MAI. She's easily probably one of the more easy duelists to farm with the same deck both ways. You can run the Gravekeeper Vassal engine to guarantee over 8,000 points when the campaign bonus goes away, because you'll get the plus 1,000 points for getting the victory by effect damage only. So have an awesome day. Thank you guys for the support, and I'll catch you guys later on. Peace out.